Hey guys, good morning. At least it's morning here or afternoon, going on the afternoon. I don't even know. I have a few things I want to show really quickly. I had done a iridescent video for my girl Emily, and she asked me what it would be like with molding paste. So very quickly, before I go on to what I want to do, I'm going to mix some molding paste. I'm going to do it on black, and I'm going to do it on a piece of white. I'm going to do molding paste there and some molding paste here. And I'm going to mix some iridescent in it. And then I'm going to set that aside to dry. And then when I'm done doing what I'm going to do on my video, then we'll see how it came out. So then I can show her. I love people asking me questions and to experiment because I love to experiment. And sometimes, I would have never really thought of this, unless I needed it for something. I don't even know why I didn't think of this. So good one, Emily. All right. Actually, I have a daughter named Emily. So I like Emily's. Although my daughter hates her name, and if she watches this, she's gonna say, why do you have to say that? Oh, looks good. And that was just a little drop on there. Oh, looking cool. Can you see a little bit right there? Yeah. We'll see what that looks like when it's dry, but that's going to look awesome. And that was just a little bloop. Now let's do it on some black. We'll mix it. Now, obviously, you can mix this on anything. You can mix it on your nonstick sheet, whatever you have. I'm just doing it on the paper. Now watch when I scrape it. You can even see the iridescent on the black. So we'll see how this molding paste looks when it's done. I'm just going to scrape the rest off. We could do a little... I don't have anything sitting here. I can use my little... Let's see if that works. Little butterfly from the other day. But I'm just going to put my little scraper in there. I'm going to wipe off my little butterfly thing. Which is really for polymer clay, but I use it for a million things. I'm just going to leave that bad boy sit there. Looks good, though, so far. And I'll really, once it's dry, it'll be better to see, but you can see it in there. So that's a definite win. So we're going to set these aside, let them dry while I do what I want to do very quickly. I've seen so many of these, I don't even know what to call them. So this is kind of an experiment. One other thing I want to show you of what I did. I have the Big Shot, but you can use, the punches that you can buy with the different shapes and everything. And I've made my own stencils. What I did was I took metal tape that you get from the hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot. Comes in big, it's like for your heater. It's metal tape. I love this stuff. I use it with so much, and you can use alcohol inks and everything on it. So I took a piece of cardstock. I cut out this from my die cut machine, but like I said, you can also use if you have like a hole punch, one of the bigger hole punches, and I've done and made my own punchinella. And what I do is I take the cardstock, I cover it with this, and then I run it through my machine, and then you get stencils. So that's one thing you can do if you don't have stencils. And then here, this is also from my die cut machine. And this is just fun foam from the kids section where you get, it's so cheap. And it's even cheaper if you buy, use your coupon when you go. And I did the same thing. And here I have great stencils. So different ways to do different things. One of the things I've been noticing a lot of, and I'll do one of these later, once I do this. But this is just a regular piece of paper I used on my jelly plate. This is actually a piece of printer paper because I was going to use it as a background in a painting, but no big deal. I've been noticing a lot the people making paintings, and I've seen them on everywhere with the really great backgrounds, and then they have birds or they have whatever, and it's a full black, I want to say silhouette. And I'm sitting there thinking, how that's so neat. Some of these things, because a lot of whether you just want to do a heart or whatever, how to do that. So I was sitting thinking today. I'm like, okay, let's do another little experiment. You want to use a good ink that doesn't spread, like archival ink, like VersaFine stays on. Ranger has an archival ink. So you want to use something like that. This is an experiment, so if it doesn't work, but I found one of my bird stamps, and I'm only going to do the bird. I'm not going to do his little thing on the bottom. So I'm just going to kind of pat the bird with my ink, especially get the outline of him. And then just want to see how this works. I'm going to stamp it. Push it down. And the archival ink will not move when you use paint or... Okay, there we go. It won't move when you use water, paint. I'm going to hit it with the heat gun just so it dries quick. I think it also helps set it. And I think because it does dry it. Now, we can do several different things, I'm thinking, to get that look. I'm going to use, now you can use black paint, but I'm going to use my Faber-Castell Pitt Pen Big Brush and see how it works. I also have paint here, so maybe we'll try that on a small, again on the other one. But I just want to see how this comes out. And I'm just going to go in and color the whole bird. But I have my outline, so I know. But I don't know if marker will cover better. And maybe when I'm done, you'll understand more of what I'm talking about. This new, it's called something, and I can't recall right now. But I see it everywhere, and I'm thinking, boy, that would be really cool to use as a background, or as have a great background, and then put a few of these different shapes just in black. Now, because this is printer paper, it doesn't have a lot of, it soaks in a lot, so the black won't be as prominent. And I might have to go over that one more time. But do you see? Let me hit it with the gun. And it's definitely soaking into the paper because it's just a printer paper, which you can use. You can just go over it again, to paint it again. But this is what I'm talking about. Have you ever seen this? Where they have these great backgrounds and then these black, you can almost use a stencil, which I'll use my bird stencil here. And then we'll use some of the black paints. I think this is black. I'm color. This is a dark blue, but you'll get the idea. I'm so colorblind, really. And as I get older, it's getting worse. What kind of brush should I use? All right. Yeah, this looks like a dark blue, but whatever. You'll still get the point. So I'm just going to go in, and I'm going to dab, and we're just stenciling it. And just stenciling around. And this would be great to do on a canvas. And remember, this is just a die cut that I did from my machine. And let's lift it up. And look how good that looks. And I'll hold it up. And then I would have another piece of paper. I'll just use this piece on the other side here. So I'll use it on something. And just go press down. So you get that rest of that paint off so you don't waste it. So I hate wasting paint. And then you have a different, different thing there. So you see, now let me just hit this. Just to dry it for a second. Again, you can go over it again. You can, once it's dry, you can put this over it again if you want it to be darker. It's the paper that's soaking it in. So, which is, it really, if that's all you have, it's no big deal. Go over it again. Otherwise, use, your mixed media paper, your watercolor, whatever you're doing, your canvas. You can even gesso the paper. I don't mind the background coming through so much. But I see these everywhere. And you might see me be doing these a little bit more with different shapes. Because I have so many cutouts, and I have a Sizzix, and I make my own stencils too from the shapes that I have that, And you can even do it, like I said, with these, with whatever choice whatever you have. So I showed you the stamp and that. And then if we go over this again, really quickly. And if you're using printer paper, like I said, just gesso it maybe. Just so you get a little bit of the coverage, because this will soak through. I just did my jelly plate on it, which I love because it's easy to when you go to make your collage on your canvas or whatever you're using. And this just gives you another way to play with your stamps and stencils too. If you don't want to have, and you can be very precise. And if you want to outline your bird here, you can. So I'm going to hit this with the heat gun. Just real fast. You can draw, if you don't have a heat gun, use a hair dryer. Works just as good. And look. I mean, look how cool. That's a whole other kind of painting. I'm going to play with these today with some different things. But I see these everywhere, and I'm like, where do you find, I understand the whole stencil thing, but wonder if I don't have a stencil, or wonder, and it's another way to use stencils if you have it. But I'm like, I have all kinds of stamps, and what can I do? And I'm like, geez, if I use, and I even have like teal. Now, if you have a paint that matches this, or if you want to keep I'm not going to do this long video today, but if I wanted to stamp again with my bird and then go over and seal it with the black and then go over it with the teal blue ink or paint or twinkling H2O or watercolor or whatever, the ink won't smear, and then you get this really cool look. Now I'm like, should I do it? Should I do it? Maybe I'll do it. Just because. Let's see how it looks. See, that's what happens. I get one here, but I promise I'll be very quick. Let me just stamp this. Not going to be perfect. Let's just see what it does real quick. Because my mind starts going, and then we're all in trouble, aren't we? All right. Okay, so I stamped it. I'm going to hit it with the gun for a minute. Just so it dries. Let's take, what do most people have? Let's do a, We'll just do a teal, a turquoise, which you can do whatever color you want. I'm just going to shake it real quick, open it up. Going to be real quick. Let's see how this looks over the black. If the black still shows through a little bit, because you can make it. Yep. And watercolors would work good on this either. And you see it's not smearing. Now, I'm doing this, but it matches the background, so it's kind of hard to see. I probably should have used a little darker color. But you get the pick, you get the idea. Look at that. So you can really make it any color you want and make it solid. And if you want the black to show through with the details, very simple. And you know, once this is dry, you put another coat, it'll go over even more. But you get the idea. So, and that was just ceramic coat turquoise. That color I used here is Midnight, and that's obviously a black marker, which you can use a black Sharpie, any color Sharpie you have. Let me just draw this real quick. I might get this video under 20 minutes. So, see how that looks? Now, obviously, like I might have done like a purple or orange, you know, to stand out from the background color, but that's what I grabbed right in front of me. But you see, you can still see the black underneath. It doesn't smear, and you have detail. I'm digging the black, just the plain black. That's Midnight Blue. But I'm loving this. Like, I've been seeing this everywhere, and I'm loving it. And I'm like, how can I do that? Well, I have stamps that I want to use and not many bird stencils, except the one I made on my Big Shot, and there you go. So I think that's pretty cool, and I think that'd be pretty cool to try and play in your journal, or to, I'm going to do a painting like this with different, and you can use any stamp you have if you get a nice clear cut like that. Now let's look at our molding paste. Going to hit it with the gun for a second. Again, if you have a hair dryer, works just as well. The only reason you really need a heat gun is if you are embossing. So I'm just going to do this. And let's see. Oh, yeah. Look at that. How pretty. That's in molding paste, So there's your answer. Looks fantastic. There you go. That's on white. There's our little butterfly stamp that we did with it. If we clear up. There we go. It was clearing up. I hate when this stuff happens and it doesn't clear up. You can see the sparkle in it. It just doesn't want to clear for me. There we go. See it? Look how pretty, and look how pretty on the black. So that's definitely a winner and a keeper. And that's the thick. So there you go. There's your answer. You can mix it in molding paste, which means you can mix it in gesso, you know, whatever you have, you can mix it in. So I hope, you know, that helped you out. I hope this teaches you something new, everybody. Something cool to do, something new with your stencils, because I'm going to be doing this. I wanted to try it. I was hoping that I didn't fail on camera, that it went the way in my head that I wanted it to go. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Any questions, leave them in the bottom. Anything else you guys want to see or want me to try out, let me know. And have a great day. Be kind to each other, and hope to see you back. Bye.